USA Today.
Limited shortages of meat expected. Buy only what you need. Production falls amid virus. American slaughterhouses processed nearly 1 million fewer cattle, hogs and sheep in the past week than they did during the same time a year ago, marking a new low that experts say will likely increase spot shortages of meat at some grocery stores. 30M filed jobless claims in 6 weeks. Latest numbers dip but show ongoing job losses. Americans cautious about reopening. Attend a funeral? Maybe. A concert? Not so much. While some states are preparing to reopen after locking down for the coronavirus, less than half of Americans say they are ready to engage in several activities that would signal a return to normal life or have a large-scale economic impact, according to a new survey.
The New York Times.
Job losses spike even as millions are not counted. Billions slide down ladder that took decades to climb. Added worries over a stunning decline in spending. Too many bodies, too fast, put New York in bind. A backlog at morgues, funeral homes and cemeteries. US asks spies to trace virus to Wuhan lab. In a first, New York will shutter the subway for a nightly scrub. As beaches grow irresistible, states scramble for sensible limits. Teeming ocean shores spur anger online. Trump backs Flynn again. The president revived his attacks on theft.bi after lawyers for Michael T. Flynn cited newly unsealed documents as evidence of misconduct.
The Washington Post.
U.S. officials begin looking at retaliatory moves against China. Trump blames Beijing for pandemic. Court action, canceling of dead among possibilities. No evidence that deadly virus escaped Wuhan research lab. For nearly a decade, a team of scientists from Wuhan, China, crisscrossed southern Asia in a high-stakes search for bats and the strange diseases they harbor. They crawled through caves, catching the razor-toothed mammals with nets and scooping up liters of their excrement. They trapped insects and mice living near bat roosts and collected blood from villagers who hunt bats for food or folk medicine. As hunger grows, a harvest is lost in Florida. With charities at capacity and supply chains stalled, a farmer watches crops plowed under. Trump bets his re-election on a swift return to normalcy. Before the coronavirus pandemic ravaged the country, President Trump's campaign had a simple, economy-focused re-election pitch. Keep America great. Return to work or risk jobless aid, states warn. Regions' persistent caseload shows shutdowns limitations. The District, Maryland and Virginia have been shut down for weeks, their economies in tatters. Large swaths of the population venture out only rarely, wrapped in masks and gloves.
Chicago Tribune.
O'Hare expansion resumes. City officials say $8.5 billion project moves ahead, but bleak outlook could force changes. Chicago's aviation department insists the coronavirus pandemic won't curtail its $8.5 billion expansion plan for O'Hare International Airport, but there are growing signs the city will have no choice but to reconsider the project's scope and timing. Masks ready. Art Institute Lions, Daily Center Picasso now wearing coronavirus face coverings. Feeling hopeless? Worried? You're not alone. The humans of Chicagoland are lonely and feeling a little hopeless right now, according to a new survey meant to gauge the well-being of Americans during the coronavirus pandemic.
Los Angeles Times.
Closing beaches draws a line in the sand. For residents who have complied with other rules, Newsom's OC crackdown strikes a nerve. Californians have made innumerable sacrifices in the face of the coronavirus crisis. They stopped working. They kept their children home from school. They have worn masks to the grocery store, canceled birthday parties, called off funerals. Warnings unheeded, Kin say. Nurse's family contend she flagged new arrival as a COVID-19 risk. Voters anxious but trust Newsom, poll finds. Californians broadly support governor's response, but partisan divisions shape other views of pandemic. With filming out cold, Iceland rises. Country's unique structure calls to movie makers eager for safe return. The cult of Kim lives on. Speculation that North Korea's leader is ill or dead underscores the power of the myth.
The Wall Street Journal.
Virus's economic pain deepens. Record contraction in the Eurozone bodes ill for quick global rebound. The public health crisis sparked by the coronavirus pandemic ricocheted through Europe's economy in the first quarter, causing a record decline in output that was more severe even than in the US, an ominous sign for the global economy. Amazon's sales soar as profit takes hit. Amazon.com Incorporated reported soaring quarterly sales as homebound customers flooded it with online shopping orders, capping a string of earnings reports from big tech companies that show how the coronavirus pandemic has fueled demand for their products and services. Colleges pushed to breaking point. Pandemic is expected to hit enrollment and revenue, forcing hard choices about education. Forget sourdough, everybody's making banana bread.
Chicago Sun-Times.
Our worst day. A day of pandemonium, anguish and remarkable resilience through the eyes of a nurse at Roseland Community Hospital. Illinois Latinos surpass African Americans in number of virus cases. Some businesses ready to reopen with easing of some state restrictions. Beauty supply stores, pet grooming, golf courses, garden centers given okay.